And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for the saber you've all been waiting for, I'm proud to finally show off and announce that I have the most accurate Anakin Skywalker Revenge of the Sith lightsaber ever made. Here we go. Alright, I'm joking. This is a $20 lamp that I got from Target that looks like it. But it's not it. So, I actually do have the most accurate Anakin Skywalker lightsaber ever made, and it's the 7-chambers AniFlex V2. If you're watching this video right now and you just want to see the lightsaber with the fonts and me showing the saber off with the blade in and all that stuff, just skip to this timestamp right here. But if you ask me where I got the fonts from, if you ask me where I got the hilt from, if you ask me who I got it installed by and you didn't watch this next part of the video, then I'm going to be upset. And I'll probably just, not answer your comment because there's a reason why I do these videos. So go ahead and skip if you want, but better not ask me a question that I cover in this part of the video because I'm going to be upset. So this saber is from 7-chambers. 7-chambers is located in the United Kingdom. This is a saber that I ordered on December 29th, I believe. This run started actually back in, I want to say, July or June of 2020. And the hilts are finally done and they're going out. And this is one of the first installed AniFlex V2s that are out there right now. There aren't a ton of these hilts. I want to say there's like 300 total, and I snagged one. So this is the AniFlex V2 from 7-chambers. By the way, as you can tell, it's very shiny, and you can kind of see my fingerprints all over it. This is made of chrome-plated brass, which is very heavy. Chrome-plated brass is way heavier than aluminum, which is what most sabers today are made out of. So this is aluminum. The Fallen V2, also installed by Jeremy Puckett of Solo Sabers, just like this. Aluminum is way lighter than chrome-plated brass, although aluminum is easier to keep up and maintain. Chrome is one of those things that it is a fingerprint magnet, it's a scratch magnet, and it's a smudge magnet. So it's just something that you got to be highly careful of, and this is a saber that means a lot to me. I really connect with Anakin as a character, and when I was younger, that's when the prequels were coming out, so Anakin's character in episode 3 is one that I really connected with, and a saber as well, obviously. So I wouldn't have the saber if I didn't connect with Anakin, and I finally have it. This was installed by Jeremy Puckett of Solo Sabers LLC. You can kind of see the grips there. Black pieces. These are hard plastic. These aren't rubber. This is not made of cheap materials at all. This is very, very high quality. You can kind of see the button right there. Button right there. Those were beautifully painted by Sean Patterson of SB Sabers. Go check him out. He's also a great guy in the saber community. Does some really cool stuff, and he has some really cool projects upcoming, so definitely go check out his website. I'll leave that in the description below. I'll leave 7-chambers website in the description below. I'll leave Jeremy Puckett of Solo Sabers LLC's channel and his Facebook and all that stuff in the description below, as well as the links to all of the fonts that I used in this video. So check the description before you ask me where I got stuff from. I'm going to mention it in the video, and, I do this all the time, and I still have people ask me where I got stuff from, but it's like, come on, people. Just check the description. It makes it so much easier for me. This was installed with Proffie 2.2 and Neopixel. I'm going to try to show it again. Kind of hard to see. Those white pieces in the emitter, those are CCSabers LED pixels, PCB, and this has Proffie 2.2. You can see the Proffie board right there. Removable battery system and removable chassis system. So this golden pancake looking thing, this goes on the inside of the hilt. If you watched Jeremy's video from a few days ago, like last week or a few days ago, he did a video, 7-chambers AniFlex V2 for private collector. That is me. I'm the private collector. Surprise, surprise. So if you've seen that video already, then you already know exactly what I'm going to say about this. This is amazing. This was a very unique install for Jeremy. This is the first time he did an AniFlex V2. This is a brand new hilt. So obviously it was the first time he did it. And he did mine first. And I got to say, he did an amazing job. I know a lot of people were looking for removable battery systems for the AniFlex V2. And a removable chassis system just makes it all the more easier. So there it is. Very simple design. 28mm Smuggler's Outpost speaker. Amazing. Proffie board. The great thing about this, and the reason why I've been so hesitant on making a Proffie tutorial video, is because I needed a saber that has very, very easy access to the board and the SD card. I love my Fallen V2, but it's difficult to get to the SD card on it. So this removable chassis system, the entire chassis comes out of the saber. So I can very easily get to the micro SD card and the micro USB port. So now that I have this, I can start making Proffie tutorials, and this will be my main Proffie testing saber. But I will be very careful with it because this saber means a whole lot to me, and it's made of chrome. So very careful with the saber. I will be very careful. So very simple setup here. I'm gonna try to grab my battery. There it is. So the spring side right here, that's the negative side. Jeremy, when you're watching this, you're probably gonna be laughing at me because Jeremy's now laughing when he says spring side is your negative, because we kind of gave him a hard time when we did the live stream. By the way, if you didn't check out our live streams, go check them out on the channel. I'll have like a playlist of live streams for now. We did a 6-hour live stream with Jeremy, and we kind of gave him a hard time about the whole spring side is your negative thing, because he always says it in his videos. So this flat piece, I always recommend getting a button top protected 18650 battery. This is a 3120 milliamp per hour. This is actually from Saber Trio, but it's like the Sony whatever ones. You can get them on like 18650 battery store. So you put the flat side into the spring. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It probably distorted the mic a whole lot, but it said this is where the fun begins. So I can use the saber without the hilt. And then I just take the battery out. It's awesome. I absolutely love this system. And not to mention, it makes it very, very easy to actually edit your Proffie saber. You can go in and add sound fonts. You can go ahead and mess with the config. You can do all that stuff. It makes it so much easier than a regular static chassis. And I have a feeling that removable chassis are going to be more and more commonplace, and especially with like Jeremy's installs and a lot of people from Smuggler's Outpost. This saber is absolutely beautiful, not to mention the box presentation. This is really cool. So if you didn't know, the Graflex, so the Luke Skywalker episode 4 and 5 hilt, was made by Roger Christian, who was like the prop master for the original trilogy. He went into a vintage antique store or something like that, and he found Graflex flash guns. These were, Fulmer cameras, and it had the flash gun, so the part that actually held the flash light bulb. And he thought that it looked really cool. And the Graflex flash came in boxes, and it had something just like this. So this is the box, the outside of the box that comes with the AniFlex light synchronizer, 7 chambers, Norfolk, England, saber equipment of proven quality, far away made, combat winning sabers since 2016. That is a really cool touch. So if you haven't seen a picture of a genuine vintage Graflex box, go check it out because it looks just like that. But 7 chambers kind of made it their own. So great presentation on the box. I love a nice box. Shout out to Solo Sabers LLC. My boy Jeremy got his stuff on there. That's cool. I didn't get that my first time, but now it's really cool that he's sending these out. And packing peanuts, love those. But this is really, really well done. The box is great. The hilt is great, obviously. This hilt means a whole lot to me. It sounds amazing. The only sound venting you really have is that right there, but this sounds better than the vast majority of my sabers. It sounds better than the vast majority of replica sabers on the market. A lot of replica sabers, especially Graflexes, they sound really muted because of the way that the pommel is made, and it's really just like a flat piece of metal. So this sounds absolutely amazing. Also comes with a blade plug. This blade plug looked amazing when I first got it, but I had to sand it down, and I actually dremeled it so it can actually fit in the emitter. Not sure why. I'm sure Lewis and 7 Chambers will fix it for next time, but the blade plugs did not fit into the emitter. It was just a little too tight. So I had to really sand this down, and I dremeled it so it does not look as great as when I first got it. And then the brass pin right there. So Lewis, if you're watching this, I may need to order another blade plug because I destroyed mine just to make it fit. So whatever, that's beside the point. My thoughts, this hilt is absolutely amazing. I love this. This is very, very heavy, but it makes it feel like a real lightsaber. It does not feel like, a half-pound piece of aluminum that feels like plastic. This feels totally legit. This feels like steel, but it is chrome-plated brass. This part right here does not move. So if you remember probably the old Master replicas, or maybe it was like the Hasbro cheap toy ones, this part was like the switch. This does not move. This is static right here. This is my auxiliary button. You can change this to whatever you want. I just made this the auxiliary button because it's a little quieter. And then this part right here, that's the power button. They both feel great. Once again, shout out to Sean Patterson of SP Sabers for painting these. These are beautiful. So this feels Absolutely amazing. The only thing is that it is a fingerprint magnet, like I said, but I'll gladly oblige for fingerprints all over my hilt to have, a saber of my dreams like this. This is a saber that means a whole lot to me. And I know I've said many times that this is the saber that I will never sell because I know how much work's been into it, both by Jeremy Puckett of Solo Sabers and by Benji Graham of Nerf Herder Customs. Now this saber is number 2 on the list, or it is also on that list. This is a saber that I'm never going to sell. This saber means a whole lot to me. So thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Lewis Petch of 7 Chambers. Thank you, everyone who worked at 7 Chambers, everyone who helped in designing this. Shout out to Smuggler's Outpost for the 14-pin switch pixel set that makes everything so much easier when you have a removable chassis. So many people are going to start using these now because Jeremy, and if you are interested, if you're an installer and you're interested in this, Jeremy is selling this chassis on his Etsy store, which I'll link in the description below. Once again, I am incredibly excited for this saber. I'm super in love with this saber. It feels absolutely amazing. This is the one saber that feels like a saber. I said that about my Fallen V2, is that every time I pick it up, it feels like a lightsaber. But this one feels like a lightsaber. It is heavy. It is, hefty. It feels amazing. It's incredibly solid, very well put together. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of this video. I'll be showing off a bunch of sound fonts. I think I have 21 sound fonts on there. I took the default ones off and I put my own sound fonts on there that I bought. KSith, Kyberphonic, JuanSith, Fourzze effects, Lord Blocko. There's a few others that I'm probably forgetting, but there's a bunch of great sound fonts on here. Some of them, sound absolutely amazing on here, especially the chosen one from KSith. There's a Darth Jar Jar Binks sound font on here from Dendo's MoonForge. By the way, that sounds amazing. It's really cool conceptual font. All the blade styles that I used are FET 263 blade styles, or they're FET 263 blade styles that I modified to fit the saber. Absolutely amazing. So thank you all so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.
Anakin Skywalker. Must be done, Lord Vader. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy. Anakin. Lust for power. just the lights.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet. If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will.
Ahsoka Tano! Bo-Katan sent me. Are you a Jedi?
I am.
Qui-Gon.
Master Bendu.